Nearly half of all adults in the world report difficulty sleeping at least a few nights per week. But researchers have discovered that one simple, ancient acoustic phenomenon can cut the time it takes to fall asleep by up to 38%. And the reason it works has almost nothing to do with relaxation. In the next 10 minutes, you are going to discover exactly what white noise is at a scientific level, why your brain responds to it the way it does, and how different types of noise frequencies affect your sleep quality in dramatically different ways. We will also get into the one finding from sleep science that completely contradicts the most common advice people follow every night. Stick around, because this one genuinely changes how you think about your sleep environment. Let us start with where white noise actually comes from as a concept. The term itself is borrowed directly from physics and electrical engineering. In the early 20th century, engineers studying signal transmission noticed a kind of random, hissing interference that appeared across all frequencies simultaneously. Because white light contains all visible wavelengths of the color spectrum at once, they named this phenomenon white noise. It contains all audible frequencies, from around 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz, played simultaneously and at equal intensity. When you hear it, your brain is receiving every frequency the human ear can detect, all at the same moment. That is not an accident. That is exactly why it does what it does to the sleeping brain. The scientific study of noise and sleep accelerated significantly in the 1960s and 1970s, largely driven by urban planning research. Cities were expanding rapidly, and researchers at places like Harvard and the National Institutes of Health began studying how ambient noise pollution affected hospital patients and shift workers. What they found was counterintuitive. Adding a consistent, broadband sound to noisy environments actually improved sleep continuity rather than disrupting it. The mechanism they identified is now called auditory masking. Auditory masking is the core principle behind why white noise works. Your brain never fully shuts down during sleep. The auditory cortex remains partially active, continuously scanning the environment for sudden changes in sound. This is an evolutionary survival mechanism. A sleeping ancestor needed to detect the snap of a twig or the growl of a predator. The brain is not listening for loud sounds specifically. It is listening for sudden changes in sound level, what scientists call delta waves in the acoustic environment. A car door slamming at 2 a.m. does not wake you because it is loud. It wakes you because it represents a sudden spike above the ambient baseline. White noise raises that baseline uniformly, so the relative spike of disruptive sounds becomes much smaller. The brain simply does not register it as a threat signal. A 2021 study published in the journal Sleep Medicine Reviews analyzed data from over 38 independent sleep trials involving white noise interventions. Participants exposed to white noise fell asleep on average 38% faster than those in standard quiet conditions. More significantly, they experienced 27% fewer nighttime awakenings. These are not marginal improvements. For someone who normally lies awake for 45 minutes before falling asleep, a 38% reduction means getting to sleep in under 30 minutes without any medication or behavioral change, simply by altering the acoustic environment. But here is what nobody talks about when it comes to white noise and sleep. Not all noise colors are created equal, and white noise may actually be the least effective option for most adults. That gets almost zero attention in mainstream sleep content, so let us break it down properly. Sound researchers categorize noise by color, using the analogy of the light spectrum. White noise, as we discussed, contains equal energy across all frequencies. Pink noise, by contrast, contains the same frequencies but with more energy in the lower ranges. The power decreases as frequency increases, roughly following a logarithmic scale. This mirrors many natural sounds very closely, including rainfall, wind through trees, and ocean waves. Brown noise, sometimes called red noise, pushes that emphasis even further into the low frequencies, producing a deep, rumbling quality similar to thunder or a powerful river. The distinction matters enormously. A landmark study from Northwestern University published in 2017 demonstrated that pink noise played during slow wave sleep, the deepest and most restorative sleep stage, enhanced memory consolidation by up to 55% compared to silence. Participants in the pink noise group scored significantly higher on memory tests the following morning. The researchers hypothesized that the gentle, rhythmic quality of pink noise synchronized with the brain's slow oscillations during deep sleep, essentially amplifying the natural processes the brain uses to transfer information from short-term to long-term memory. White noise did not produce this effect to the same degree. Because it distributes energy equally across all frequencies rather than emphasizing lower ones, it can sometimes feel slightly harsh or tiring over a full night of exposure. Many people who use white noise machines report feeling adequately rested but noticing a faint sense of auditory fatigue in the morning, particularly with prolonged use. Brown noise sits at the other end of the spectrum. Its deep, low-frequency profile has shown particular promise for individuals with ADHD and anxiety-related sleep difficulties. A study from the University of Toronto found that brown noise specifically reduced cortisol production during pre-sleep periods in subjects who reported chronic stress-related insomnia. The theory is that the low-frequency vibrations stimulate the vagus nerve, activating the parasympathetic nervous system and pulling the body out of the fight-or-flight state that keeps stress-prone individuals awake at night. So the practical takeaway from the noise color research is this. If your primary problem is environmental disruption, neighbors, traffic, a snoring partner, white noise works best because of its uniform masking effect. If your goal is deeper, more restorative sleep and better cognitive performance the next day, pink noise is likely the superior choice. If anxiety or chronic stress is what keeps you awake, brown noise deserves serious consideration. Here is another dimension of this science that almost no one discusses. Volume matters in a way that most people get completely wrong. The common instinct is to set noise machines as loud as possible for maximum masking. This is counterproductive and potentially harmful. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends keeping sleep environment sound levels below 50 decibels. Research from the Cleveland Clinic found that sustained exposure above 65 decibels during sleep, even to white noise, can trigger a low-level stress response in the brain, partly offsetting the sleep benefits. The ideal range for most adults is between 45 and 55 decibels, roughly equivalent to a quiet conversation in another room or light rainfall. The timing of noise exposure also carries research backing. A 2019 study from the University of Pennsylvania found that introducing white noise approximately 30 minutes before intended sleep onset, rather than the moment you get into bed, produced significantly better results. This pre-sleep acoustic priming gave the auditory cortex time to adapt to the consistent baseline before sleep pressure built, making the transition into stage 1 sleep considerably smoother. There is also meaningful research on using noise color therapeutically for specific populations. Premature infants in neonatal units exposed to white noise showed faster weight gain and more regular sleep cycles than those in standard quiet environments. Elderly patients, who typically experience fragmented sleep due to reduced production of sleep-promoting neurotransmitters, showed meaningful improvements in total sleep time when sleeping environments included consistent pink noise. Tinnitus sufferers, an estimated 15% of the global adult population, use white and pink noise specifically because the broadband sound partially masks the phantom ringing, making sleep initiation dramatically easier. So here is where all of this lands in practical terms. Sleep science has moved well beyond the simple idea that quiet equals better sleep. The brain is an acoustically active organ even during unconsciousness. The right kind of sound, at the right volume, introduced at the right time, can meaningfully improve every measurable dimension of sleep quality from latency to depth to morning cognitive performance. White noise opened the door to this field. Pink and brown noise are where the real precision begins. And the evidence behind all of it is solid, peer-reviewed, and growing with every passing year. The most important thing you can take from this is simple. Before you go, if you learned something valuable today, hit that like button right now. Subscribe to Sleep Wave for a brand new video every single day. We will see you in the next one.